Robert.
How's everybody doing?
Good. All right, well, looks like we've got a super group. So from what I read, we can go ahead and get our first two, lesson 5 and lesson 6. It looks like we need to, decide on some kind of a scientific claim and put it to the test and, on our research. So, and then the second part is to make a power.
Is it a science?
Excuse me?
Is it a scientific claim or is it a study skill?
I think it's a scientific claim. That's what I was reading. Does anybody else have an input on that?
The study skill is an actual separate thing you do before we meet, or this week.
Okay.
And then the second part, which they suggest that we hit into today, is the PowerPoint. So that's going to be, well, to me, we need a lot more instruction and guidelines on what they want from that. How big, how small, how involved.
I think there was an example that we're going to see coming up, so then we'll be able to follow that.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So anybody have any thoughts of, I did a little looking at it, so take it away. Who has some thoughts on what scientific claim you might want to put to the test? Or not, I don't want to say that, just, to explore what merits it, and then we're also supposed to find one area of potential weakness in the claim.
Well, I say anything with health, because that's easy.
That's good.
So are we wanting to try a controversial claim or thing?
What are your thoughts, Robert?
I mean, if y'all want to go controversial, I'm fine with that.
I have one I'll put out there, and if you want to know something, if you are interested in something controversial, there are a lot of arguments on the position of back sleeping for babies. It's also a health-related topic. It's regarding SIDS, and it has gone over the top, in my opinion, and I have a real biased opinion, but I've already done a little bit of research on this in another class, in a communications class, and had a persuasive argument on it. But that is, that's something out there, because the position is, our NIH, National Institute of Health, says that child should be on its back, and you will find things that say that child must be on its back constantly. Don't even let it sleep in its stroller. Don't let it sleep with any blankets. And that is faulty, is absolutely fallacy. These children that do die from SIDS, and it's a delicate thing, and I'm sorry if anyone knows it, but so by and large, they were sick babies. There were infections the month or two ahead of time. Or secondly, there's drunk or negligent parents. And the highest SIDS are in Ireland and New Zealand, that have the highest alcohol and drug abuse anyhow. So that's something, like I say, if you want a hot button thing, there's one for you.
That sounds good.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm passionate about this, guy, so I have to take a back seat. Anybody else? Really, is there anything else you guys want to do, or just want to plow forward?
I really like that. I think that's a great one, because I have always wondered about it, because of course when I raised my babies, they didn't have that, and I would love to learn more about it. So.
Me too. I don't have kids, but it'd be interesting to see how that works out.
Awesome, Robert. You know what? One thing that I thought was super interesting as far as a fallacy that we can use, I'll have to dig out. I'll shoot it over to you, because I know I still have it, and you can look at my. Don't judge me, but you can look at my report. But because the thing that was so incredibly intense about it is, like, for the grade, it was like this timing thing. You know, if you were over 7 seconds late, you would get docked. And so I'm in there like trying to get it all into there. So I was flustered. Anyhow, what's your thought, Donna Darren?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Is that your name? That's not your name. What is your name?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. When I set it up, I think I was signed up on my husband's thing. So I'm actually Rachel. Sorry.
Rachel. Okay.
Yes. Sorry. I think that's great. My kids are all older, so I haven't had to deal with that for a long time. But I'm hoping in the future that some grandbabies.
Okay. So what I started to say, I interrupted
my only concern is sorry. They don't have it's just babies sleeping on their back.
Say it again.
Sorry, my internet connection's not very good. Just babies. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. So is the concern SIDS or babies just sleeping on their backs?
I would say my claim is that the NIH is saying that that's the only safe position for babies, and I disagree with that. It's gone so far that some states are they're having babies in sleeping sacks now. They're taking away blankets entirely. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, we have some friends who just had a baby who they only wear pajamas.
Secondly, I know that because these doctors are freaking out these young families, and they're so stressed. I mean, on another note, that stress that these young families have is incredible. But there's two other things that you guys would, I'll share that I think makes this an interesting one to consider. And one is I'm old, so I know, and I don't know if you would remember this, Robert, but I bet my other two women cohorts who remember. Do you remember about 10 years ago how many babies were in the helmets?
Oh,
yeah,
just shape their head and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's toned down now. Would you agree? You don't see so many.
Yeah.
That is because that is part. That's part of this back sleeping. These babies are getting misshapen heads.
That's because they're pressing on the back.
And they have soft heads, and they're on their backs constantly. Their motor skills are delayed about 2 months, and they're changing the milestones for grabbing and everything because these little babies, what can they do on their back? I mean, there is nothing. They can't lift up their little chest. And so there's that. But the other thing that I thought is interesting, this is the one thing that really got me thinking that this is a fallacy, and that is when you look at the governments, and I have all this on my slide, little, I think it's a 7-minute, I can't remember, 5 or 7 minute communication presentation. But there was a graph about I guess it was the decline in SIDS, and it just hasn't dropped off as they were expecting it. And coincidentally, they're not even talking about it anymore. Anyhow, you'll see. Like I said.
So when you say fallacy, you're saying there's not a relationship between babies sleeping on their backs and the decline of SIDS. Is that what you're saying?
We have to be careful on how our position on that. And
okay.
So are we filling out
the question we're researching?
I would say, are we filling out that form that was attached?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the question we're going to answer. So the first one was, what is the title of your project? The only safe position for babies is on their back. Is that the title, or what should we do?
I'd like somebody else to.
Sarah, what was
Do you want
that?
to say back sleeping, or do you just want to? Do you want to specify back sleeping, or just say sleeping for babies?
Is back sleeping the cause of SIDS? I think is probably the better position. I think that they have understated the sickness of babies and the inept of parents. And you know, I've read some of these autopsy reports, and these babies were found wedged between a couch cushion. That's not because that baby was on its face. That's a drunk mother or a negligent parent.
Mhm.
That's not because that baby's safely in a crib on its tummy. So anyhow, I guess what I would say is
the cure for SIDS,
I'm sorry, you
because
cut
it's
out.
not the cause of SIDS.
Yeah.
So is back sleeping the cure for SIDS? Because it's not the cause of SIDS. Correct?
That's good. That's good. That's a good line, I think.
Yeah, back sleeping is a cure of SIDS.
I like that.
Okay. Be our question, actually, right?
Does back sleeping cure SIDS? Is it SIDS or SIBS? I don't know that one.
It's sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, yes.
SIDS, okay. So do you have to ask it in a question? Is that what we're saying?
No, well, I was just saying that actually could be the question for the next, because it says, what question are you trying to answer?
Is back
So
sleep
the question would be,
Which form is this? Because I
right,
have the sources
that would be our
form.
question.
Is that what we're working on, or what are we working on?
That's not my
Search project.
Aha.
Did you find it?
What section is it under? I think I'm on the same one Robert's on.
L05, lesson 5, explore. Number
Oh, explore.
2, it says the document.
Yeah, I was under prepare. There's a document under prepare for us also.
Okay, I was under the enrich.
Okay, so
Because there's a document for that one too.
Okay, let's just work on one.
under the project,
Well, should we
the
go to the
project
first one?
guidelines on this?
Maybe we should go to the first one first since they're in
Okay,
order.
which one are we doing?
The group project outline.
Which one are we doing? Because the group research project, under project guidelines, number 1 says, choose a study practice that you and your group members are truly curious about and will be interesting to investigate and present. That's why I thought it was a study practice, not a question. Not a question.
Okay, then the study practice is, which is fine, that explains it. What is the correlation with backs, or that's still a question. We can just make it a statement, the correlation between back sleeping and SIDS. But it doesn't matter.
No, but what I'm saying is, I don't think we're supposed to do a sign, because if you look at the group research project, it says choose a study practice. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. Is that different?
But that's in lesson 4. And I understood that that was just something we were supposed to do before we started this, because it teaches you how, and I did that today, it teaches you how to research and what are some study skills you need to work on, how can you become better at test taking, all these type of things. But I didn't think it had anything to do with what we were going to talk about. But maybe somebody could look at the teacher's email, because she sent one out that said this is for it. And then here's individual assignments, and then there's group assignments, lesson 5 group assignments. So there is an enriched project.
Confused.
Sorry. Okay, so let's go. So the lesson 5 individual assignment says this activity will help you identify a study or practice skill that is an area of potential weakness. So that's what we do for ourselves. This is individual. You may consider using the study technique habit you researched in this activity as your scientific claim you will evaluate for your group project. That's where you saw it. Explore quiz, then we do that once we've talked about. So, but then let's keep going. So then the group assignment. This assignment will be turned in by one of the group members. Your group will fill out this document. Okay, so not all of us are filling it out. So we need to maybe assign one person. They just fill it out, where you state your 5 sources for your project and answer questions about your research. So we got to have 5 sources, and then, but it says we could, right? We could use maybe one of these study technique habits as one of our scientific claim, as our scientific claim. Let's see. There was this one thing that I pulled up, and it was just for our group assignments. Did anybody remember seeing that? They said this is not the individual.
Yes.
Just group.
Yes, and everyone. Is that towards on lesson 6 by chance with the PowerPoint and the rough draft? Because everyone needs to submit that for some reason.
I think it's the same PowerPoint though.
I think that's right.
That we all submit.
That's right.
Yeah, so we don't have to create our own. We do it together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back together so we're all on the same page and the same document, filling it out. It appears, yeah, I might be wrong, but are there 3 documents that we need to fill out?
Well, see, I can only find this one, and it's under group 5, group assignment, and it is the one that says
under explore or enrich.
It's group research.
Here's our sources. No, this is totally different. Okay, so the one that I just pulled up was under lesson 5, group project outline. You go down to where it says individual assignments and then group assignments. So lesson 5, group assignments, and it says your group will fill out this document with your 5 sources.
Yes.
So we have that one. And then the other one that I brought up was the, let's see, it's called the group research project on top. Is that what everyone has? Or do you have another one?
That is found under the group project outline, under lesson 5 group assignments. It says your group will fill out this document. So that's the one that the group research.
That's the sources one. Yeah, that's all the information that we're using to source.
Not the sources one. Not the sources one. The sources is later on.
It looks
this
like
one is in.
It looks like this.
It's in a group 5.
Lesson 5 or group 5?
So lesson 5, prepare.
Yeah, under group project outline.
Lesson 5. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it says lesson 5 individual,
Right
lesson 5 group, and this is this document, and that document is the sources one.
Yes, it is. And that's called the group research project. Right. That's the first one we were on.
Okay.
If you want to, let me go back and look also, since we're taking 1 minute to make sure we're doing this correctly.
We could also have someone share their screen that has all of them and show us, you know, where it goes. Might be easier.
Where did I find this research one then?
I think there was one under Explore. Let me check here.
The research one is under Explore. I'm looking at that one right now.
Okay. Okay.
So under Explore and Instructions, we'll get another document to help with our first group meeting.
what question you're trying to answer.
Okay, so I only know of 2 documents. Is that true?
I
At
think
this
that's right.
point, yes.
As far as
Okay.
Okay.
Which one are we
Now,
starting?
I'm going to probably the Explore one because that seems feasible because we can't really figure out sources if we don't know our claim yet.
yeah, that's what I would say.
So the group research project is first?
Yes, I think
All
that's
right.
the one we should fill out first.
Let's
That
do
makes
it.
sense.
Let's do it.
Is-
And now, with that, because I know, I think what you were saying about habits, because we took that survey, the assessment, and kind of like our study practices, and there's like a list of all the different study practices. Now, are we writing about that, or are we writing about our own chosen claim?
Well, on number 2, it says your topic can be specific to a type of classroom format, large lecture, small lecture, lab, online, hybrid, or generalized to learning across formats. So I'm thinking that it has to be on one of those.
Okay.
I really wanted this in.
Because it says et cetera. It says et cetera. I think we're okay.
Do you think we're okay with the SIDS?
I mean, it's
my
scientific.
concern because it doesn't say choose a scientific claim. It says choose a study practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this might not be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys go for it.
I think that's weird that we're researching a study practice. So I don't know.
It's pretty clear that we're supposed to, when you read it, we're supposed to do a scientific claim. That's all it says all over and over.
Well,
then I think we should do what we think, I guess, but then we need to quickly email the teacher and make sure, or we're going to, you know, if it's not what she wants.
Let me shoot her an email right now. I'll shoot her an email.
Yeah, you should read email right now.
do you know how to instant message? That works as well.
She usually doesn't get on until like 7 or 8 at night, but you can try.
Oh, well, why don't you do an instant message then?
Okay, I'll ask her because I sent her an instant message over the weekend and she got right back to me.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Okay. Am I asking about the group project?
Yeah, is it
What am I-
scientific claim or is it the study practice?
And make sure you tell her we're in our Google Hangouts right now.
Yeah, urgent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we are unclear about the group project. Are we evaluating a study practice or a scientific claim? Does that sound clear?
Yes.
I just said, is the group project supposed to be based on a study practice or a scientific claim? We are in
Bingo.
study group right now, thanks. That's what I said. Okay.
So tell us how you did the instant messaging. Was it through Facebook? What'd you do?
So, nope. So out of your screen, if you go to your main screen where it says FDSCI101, and you've got the bell,
Mm-hmm.
there's the notification with the 2 little bubbles, and then on the left of that is an envelope.
Yeah.
The envelope is your instant messages. So
I
if you click on the envelope,
Yeah.
yeah, so click on the envelope and then you can go to class list
Mhm.
and it will have everybody in the class on there.
I did that with Fernando and the email. We covered them all 3 angles.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, help me
Okay, so
understand.
I found something on the lesson information at the very beginning. And
Okay, I was gonna go.
because it talked about, let's see, demonstrate how evaluating the merit of a scientific claim can lead to better decisions as a consumer, and demonstrate an understanding of the process of science by identifying and evaluating a scientific claim of personal interest and or relevance. So we're going to show how the scientific claim supports or contradicts the claim, and recognize and appreciate the merit of various types of scientific evidence, and distinguish between the quality of evidence of various sources. So that is what the lesson outcome is for the whole time, for the whole week. And then if it's complete, does anybody get something back from her? Is that what a bell was? Did I hear that?
No, I'm sorry, it's my phone.
Okay, complete the 5 prepare activities. These activities will help you prepare for the group project. You will assess your study practices and research one area of potential weakness in your study practice. Review the group project outline, and this will help you know what to expect over the next 2 lessons as you participate in the group project. So there's supposed to be a group project outline. Have we seen that?
Yeah, that's the paper you were talking about that has the question and the title of your paper.
Okay.
I think, yeah, the second paper. The second.
Yeah.
But it does talk about scientific claims all through here. So.
Okay, now I'm going to be the nemesis, because if you click on, at the top, click on the FDSCI101 for Intro to Lesson 5. At the first beginning, it says group work. We will be working in groups this week.
Yes.
As a group, you will choose a study practice that you are interested in and review the current literature on this topic. Make sure to choose your topic and prepare 5 sources by Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of study practice would you like to do would you like to consider? So maybe, I have a feeling you're probably right. You're possibly right. But you know what's funnier is when you look over under Explore, the verbiage now changed from a study practice claim.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah, check out under the top Explore.
Okay, for lesson 5?
Yes.
Okay, let me go back. Lesson 5, Explore.
Point 2, meet with your group to start discussing the group project. Use this document to help you with the first group. Choose a study practice claim to investigate further, which I think, yeah. Discuss your research design plan and literature review. Start discussing how your group will prepare their PowerPoint. Anyhow.
Okay.
Does that make it worse?
Seems like it's all contradicting itself.
They're inconsistent in
This
their
is
words.
so fun.
Well, and then there's, sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Well, we are the very first ones to actually have a group discussion. Some of the others don't meet till tomorrow or the next day, and they're different. So I think maybe she's seeing this. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was looking at the group research project form, the first one that's under the Explore. And it says, choose a study practice that you and your group members are truly curious about and will be interested to investigate and to present. Do not just choose the first thing someone mentions. That will be easy and will just meet the requirement. So,
Right, that's what I was reading from at the beginning.
So is that our study practices tips? So it's like spiritual preparation, purpose, attitude, self-management, all that stuff.
Yeah, so there's,
You have to choose.
that's my understanding.
You know what I
I
think
don't
is
want to
funny?
lead us astray, but
It's because it says the first one somebody mentions, when it comes from a finite list, I don't know. I think that they have just used words interactively, interchangeably.
Oh yeah.
Well, and we
Okay.
have to remember that this was a 14-week course, and they tried to cram it into 7 weeks, and they're taking things out and putting it in. Because I was thinking of being an online curriculum designer, and this is just some of the problems that they have all the time. So don't worry. Okay, let's go to our study practice. Go through and just tell us what your favorite, what would you like to look into?
Written and oral language skills.
Oral language skills?
Written and oral.
Oh, written and oral.
See, and mine is storage. I cannot retain things. I do great if I'm doing it for 2 weeks. I got it down, but you ask me in 2 months and I'm like, about that, but I don't know.
I'm for written and oral. Sorry, that's
Okay.
where mine is that I need.
Well, hey, it's okay. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, and what would
That's-
you suggest? Right, is it, no, tell me your name again, let's see. The one that put this together, not Rachel, but what's your
Sarah,
name? Sarah, okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, what would you like?
storage, maintaining, yeah.
Okay, what would be the easiest to research? And
Retention or
I think retention, because I did the written and oral language, and that was really hard. In fact, it was kind of funny because one of them was the people that don't actually have really good English skills, like say somewhere, you know, in Europe, or not Europe, but somewhere where they don't speak English, and they can only speak a little bit. They found that putting them on WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter and all those things and letting them use their phone and help them immensely in those type of the oral and written language skills. But I would go for the storage retaining.
okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter to me.
No,
Okay,
I like that one.
Are we going to have one person fill out the form?
I think we all need to sit, well, I don't know. We can decide that.
Okay. Sarah, you just take over.
So what is the title of the topic is storage and retention.
Okay.
Retention, can you have information?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What questions are we trying to answer?
How to retain knowledge. From 3 days past, 5 days past, 2 weeks past? I don't know.
Perfect. Boy, I hope we get the answer to this.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's too broad.
Maybe we'll get a little narrower scope as we continue,
Okay.
because I think it is a little broad so far.
Yeah.
Why is this question worth investigating?
Why is it worth
Be a
investigating?
millionaire on Jeopardy.
Well, it helps you I was going to say.
Line upon line, precept upon precept.
Many people struggle with memory problems.
Yeah.
Can it read? We could turn it into a scientific claim.
Mm-hmm.
Memory loss leads to dementia.
Oh, here's one. Here's one. Music increases memory.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
Ah.
I've actually heard that one too. That was a good one. Like when you listen to
Could be
music while you're studying.
Yeah, we could. I
That could
bet
be our
there's
question.
research on that. That would be interesting and far less controversial.
Do you want that to be our question?
I like that.
Does music increase memory retention?
Ooh, specific. What type of music?
Here we go. Oh my gosh, where was it? There was a super good claim. Did anybody have a class where somebody did this? Because there's been an argument that classical music, that's not for memory though, but that classical music increases your IQ. And
I think I know what you're talking about. It was like hard metal music versus classical music or something like that.
Right. Yes. And then they did some study, and they realized it was just any music actually was stimulating. But that again is not memory. But
Yeah.
we're getting close to the same idea. Okay. Does music increase memory? I don't know. We'll clean that up. Okay. Let's have somebody else do their goals research design, describe our group's plan to research, and collaborate on our project. Let's make a plan.
Well, I think since there's 5 of us, we could each find an article.
Yeah. Okay. Google Scholar. You just find an article that relates to music and memory.
Yeah, as long as we don't all pick the same one. Maybe somebody could research different types of music, or we could each, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
You know, there was, seems like on this point, we need 5 sources, as you were mentioning, Rachel, and it needs to be current literature. Should we, how current should we try to make it? Throw out a date, 2013? We want to make it even more recent or later?
I'd say 5 years.
5 years.
5 years, 2012. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What types of sources?
This current, let's see, but one should be an area of potential weakness. So that should be easy to find. I'll do that one if you want.
Okay.
I'll see if I can.
To take that one? Okay.
I'll see if I can find one that's current as of this year.
You know what? This is his number. Is he trying to call us? Let's see. Hello? Hello? This looks like the number from the one that's out of the country. What's his name?
Start with the 23.
Oh, it's with the 17. Is it 23? Okay, let me look.
Hey, would you be upset if I leave? I have to head off.
Yeah.
Can I stay? I'll stay in Google Chat though. I'll have my phone on. So
all right.
If you just need to assign something to me, that's fine. But I'll take a current article for a source.
I think we're doing well. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Thanks.
Poor young guy with 3 old ladies.
Who are you calling old anyway? All right, I say just go ahead and tell us the question and let's just start typing.
Yep. Okay. Next one. What type of sources are you going to look for in your research and why? That's what Robert said. He's going to go new. What type of resources?
Well, just the ones on the McKay Library, Google Scholar, any of those. But we put current and area of potential weakness for you, but.
Okay. Describe your criteria we will use to evaluate the validity, credibility, or credibility of our resources. You know, that was one new, that it's current. No more than 5 years old.
Okay, new data.
I guess another criteria could be,
Sarah, are you filling this out, or do we all need to be filling this out?
I'm filling it out as we go.
Okay. Because I'm kind of filling it out.
Another criteria, I don't think it
we could look.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we could look at the who's writing the article. Is it medical doctors? Is it musicians? Is it who's writing the article?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
How about peer review?
Should we ask, is there some kind of a level of education we want them to have? Do they want them to have PhDs or MDs? I don't know. You know, I'm just throwing out something
Yes.
you could add.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Good. What about, do we want peer reviews only, or, you know?
That's good.
No, I think it's good to have peer review, but I don't think we should only do peer review, because then we could get,
Other things.
I mean, we have to, yeah, 5 different sources.
Okay. Well, let's go to the next one. I think those are good.
Okay. If something else comes, let me know and we can add it. As you begin your research, it might be useful to try and limit your search to a certain demographic. What demographic, like the age range, gender, race, etc., are you going to try and target, and why?
Well, Robert's going to say his age, and we're going to say ours.
I think we should go for Robert's age.
Well, I think it would be interesting to see also how it affects younger children.
Robert's age or younger. So how about
Do we have to limit it?
yeah, it says it might be useful. Might be useful to try and limit your research.
Okay.
And I think that does. It just carves out our searches so we don't get 17,000 responses. So
Younger children, or under age 20.
okay, we could say college age kids. That would help also limit it. You know what? Honestly, because high school kids, oh my goodness, they listen with buds a lot when they're studying.
Yeah. Let's do high school.
So what if we said like 14 to 25?
There you go.
You know, I'll do teenagers because I don't think that 14 to 25 will help narrow it in the search bar. What do you think?
Teenagers.
Something
That's
like
great.
teenagers. Robert, he's close to a teenager.
Male and female.
Yeah, no gender, no race. Like let's just have a narrow scope. So this is like college kids, you know, because college kids start sometimes when they're 17, but they're 18 to 19.
Yeah.
Okay. When reviewing the current literature on the topic of your choice, focus on the following. And so this is just information, but problem formulation, which topic is being studied and what are the main issues? Next is literature search. Find material relevant to the subject being investigated. Data evaluation, determine which sources are most reliable and significant. Analysis and interpretation, and application. Then the last thing it says, you may use a combination of primary research, papers, reviews, and other sources, but must include at least 2 primary research papers published in 1995 or later. So they've done the scope for us. We're going to try to stay newer. Okay. Then it goes into that primary source and that secondary source, which she says she's going to be talking about in the group meeting tomorrow. I read that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a note. You should not quote directly from other sources unless you use quotation marks. So that's just talking about our paper. And after conducting a review of the literature, we will create a PowerPoint to present, to submit via iLearn. I think that is going to be difficult for me because I am on a Mac. So
I can put the PowerPoint together.
you know, either that or else another thing that's like, what do they call it? A Prezi? Those are.
Oh, Prezi.
We could do a Prezi.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for offering.
You want to do? Yeah, Rachel. I say you let her do it.
Very nice. Thank you.
I don't use Prezi, but I haven't used it.
PowerPoints are easy, but I just I have it's called Keynote, and it doesn't it's tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard Macs are awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I love everything about it, and it's fine. Just yeah. So, did you ever hear back from Professor Eldon? I did not.
No, I didn't either. She's probably not. It's Monday, family night.
Okay.
Maybe she's busy doing that.
But I think I feel better about that, the study practice, because obviously it's changed on the paper that I just read number 2 instead of number 1. I should have done that, but
I do too. I think we're on track. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rachel, for holding us to it, because I think you're good on that.
I was feeling the devil's advocate there, but I
It was fine.
I could be wrong.
You know, this is all due really fast.
yeah.
So Thursday, we need to have our PowerPoint rough draft. Friday, there needs to be a second rough draft, and then Saturday, the submission is due. And what is due on Wednesday? Does anybody remember that? I saw that earlier, and I didn't write that down.
I think it's our personal.
Oh, yeah. Maybe the first.
Response. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go over to calendar, but it's probably a mess.
Yeah, I was trying to understand the whole calendar this week, and I'm like, I think some of the dates are wrong when they're due on the page, because they're due on the same date. So some of lesson 5 is due on Thursday, and I think it's supposed to be due on Tuesday.
It's
But
just
she didn't change it from the regular course to
the Explore lesson 5. Due Wednesday is a lesson 5 Explore and group project plan. That's a discussion. And the sources, the group project sources is due.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you want us to email you the sources to put on this sheet, or do we all turn in our own sources sheet, or how does that work?
Let's go back. There is one. That's what we're talking about. There's one that I know we all have to turn in, and that might be it.
I think it's the PowerPoint, because you have to turn something in on iLearn.
Okay.
So I could just email that to everybody.
That's great. So I guess it's going to get turned in on a Keynote anyhow.
Oh, that's right.
I don't mind. They have to do it. It exports it, but the font changes, the formatting changes, and anything that's kind of cool, like coming in or how they add and dissolve, and it scatters it.
Are you talking about entering it into iLearn?
Yeah.
Because I copy and paste, and if I have some fun color and a different font, it will actually ask me, do you want to keep the formatting or clear the formatting? And I say keep, and it's always the same color and nice. So try it and just see by copy and paste and see if it'll ask you.
Because you're not on you're on a PC.
Mm-hmm.
Mine pops up and says it's going to be changed. Do you want me to still send it?
No,
okay. That's the one I get.
Well, she'll be able to see it with everyone else's turned in, so she'll know, even if it changes through OneNote.
This is the one thing I'm not prepared. What we all need to send in. You know what? Okay, devil's advocate. Here we go again. I remember seeing another. Oh my gosh. I remember going through and reading something else on there, and I wrote it down here because they use it as an example, climate. Oh, no, that could have been when I was searching online. They were talking about climate change. That one, never mind. That's when I was getting ideas for it. So scratch that, the whole thing. I think we're on track. Let's stay where we are.
If not, it'll be easy to switch over to what you were talking about. And I don't mind meeting again before Wednesday if we need to change it.
I think we're set.
I don't know what your schedules are like. Okay.
Well, and we just did on our last group project for my other class, we just did a group email. I know it's kind of weird, but we just were able to put all of the, say like each one of our things we find and a little bit about it. And then you just gather the information from that group email and put it into the PowerPoint.
Let's do a Google Doc.
Or Google Doc, however. But the fact is she still has to put it into a PowerPoint, so.
Yeah.
however you want to do it. I say, just do it one way so that we can ask questions, or if we need to talk about it. Like, I'm not sure how you're going to do that with a Google Doc.
I think Google Doc is a lot easier because then you just click on it. The risk, I like that we communicate via email. I think that's good.
I haven't.
But the risk of a Google Doc or the risk of a email correspondence is this making sure that you don't miss anything as you go through all of them.
What I'll probably do is, I haven't looked at the example yet, but I'll look at the example and just duplicate it, and then I'll just copy and paste whatever information you sent to me into, because I'm assuming you're summarizing on each slide. Is that incorrect? I haven't looked at the example.
Yeah, we need to see the example.
Where is the example? Do you know?
I didn't ever see one. You mentioned it.
I know it might be in lesson 6. That I'm going to go look there real quick.
Okay. Is really just getting the pages set up. That takes a little bit of time.
We also have an exam this week.
Oh
yeah.
All right, I think we should continue with email at this point.
So who wants to be in charge of setting up that, or setting up the Google Doc, or however? I think it should come from one of you guys.
I can do a Google
I'll do
Doc.
the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you familiar with them? I just have to
Not very much.
Not very much. They are, you type on them and they are so slick, and it goes on instantaneous. Sometimes you can see 2 people typing on them at the same time. It's just a link.
Okay.
So can you start the link and the email together, Sarah, and then Rachel can just type on that or get the information from there? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I will, I'll attach one of our papers to it, and we can add into it. So I'll work on that right now.
Okay.
Sound good?
Awesome. I'm sure we'll learn more in her video tomorrow.
Yeah, I
hope
can't
so.
either. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you right now, I'm so sad to miss it. And last week I wasn't there. I went to Sister Talbot's, another one. But you guys will get a kick out of this. It's my birthday's this week, and my daughters bought me tickets to go see Neil Diamond.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I know. My husband bought me tickets to go see Tony Bennett, so we're going to see him next week. He just had his 90th birthday, and he was performing last week in the LA Hollywood. I'm in San Diego, in the LA Hollywood Bowl with Lady Gaga.
Wow.
Just, I mean, 2 icons. It's so cool. So very fun.
That's awesome.
Fun stuff in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the U.S. I'm in Virginia.
Awesome. My daughter lives in Virginia. Where are you, Wendy?
Rexburg, Idaho, right on campus.
Awesome. Good.
Oh,
I
nice.
moved here to go to school so I could be on campus and online, whatever, to get it done as fast as possible. And my family lives here. So my husband passed away, and so I've got to get my degree so I can start supporting the family. So that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I know.
Sorry.
Is this really recent? How long ago did this happen?
No, it was 7 years ago.
Uh-huh. Oh, you were so young.
Yeah, my child,
Yeah.
they were only 6, and I had 6 kids, and 2 were married, but I had 4, 6 to like 15 or whatever. So,
Oh my gosh.
or 4 of them that were there. So anyway, now they're 13 and 15, and I have 1 on a mission and another one married. So we're all in call. 2 of us, 3. The one I guess is in 8th grade, 1's in 10th, and they've been taking some online classes this summer. And I've been taking online classes, so it's like so fun because we all go to you know, our little rooms with the computers and do our thing. But anyway,
Oh,
it's gonna be good. We're gonna get this degree, and so I can start working.
good for you. What's your major?
Well, it's administrative assistant office manager because I started 30 years ago in that, and I got that this month. And then that's associates. And the bachelor's is applied management and science and business. But I hopefully get my master's right after that if I can, and then that will be the 2.5 years before I have to start working. So I don't know really what to go into. So I'm like open to any suggestions.
Yeah.
And I just know I have to make more than what BYUI pays for an administrative assistant, and that's $22,000. So
Yikes.
there's no way I can live on that.
No.
No.
There are many opportunities outside of Rexburg.
Yeah.
But it will be more expensive to live, but you'll have to do your math and figure out if it's worth it.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Wendy, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry.
You go, girl.
Sorry for the challenges you've had, but that's awesome that you're finishing your degree and you've been raising your children so beautifully, and you've got a child on the mission, another one married.
And 3 grandbabies. So it's kind of fun.
Oh,
And they're in
amazing.
Georgia,
Wow.
so I get to go to Georgia every so often and see them. It's really nice.
Very, very nice.
Awesome.
It's nice to meet you, ladies.
Thank you.
You too.
All right, we'll be in touch. I'll get a document out sometime this evening. Let's see. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Great.
Good.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.